So you actually did a show today. How did that go?
It went great, and it's a special school because if you're lucky, once a year is the norm. If you're really lucky, twice a year. This school for the last 20 years has had me 3 times a year.
Wow.
And each event is a different event, so it never gets stale. And this particular event was the kickoff show that they do. And the show went very well, and it's a primary building, and the teachers all know my songs, and the kids keep changing, but I often wonder if the teachers are kind of tapping their toes saying, I've seen this 15 times before, you know, but you do what you can. And a little kid walks up to me after the show, and I performed God Bless the USA in honor of 9/11. And I put on my American flag jacket, and the little kid walks up to me, big eyes. I thought I was going to say something, how much you like the show. He goes, Glenn Colton, I love your jacket. So that was the little anecdote.
What would you say are some of the differences when you're performing at a school as opposed to other venues?
Like a family outdoor.
Yeah.
Well, what's kind of cool about the school venues is the kids can't get up and walk away.
That's true.
When you're at a festival or a state fair or even a library outdoor show, people and kids, it's a whole different animal. Whereas my school show is like a concert in school. Kids know they're in school. Teachers are there. It's a very cerebral experience. They're happy to get a class, so they're there. It's different than, say, a summer outdoor gazebo series, which is more like a wedding reception party without the alcohol for the kids. It's dancing, limbo, twist, disco, polka, conga line, cha-cha slide. And so the difference is that the structure of the show and the whole just dynamics of the time of day, time of year, they're free to go and come as they want. So that would be the main difference.
You don't do a lot of outdoor shows in Buffalo in the winter, do you?
Actually, no, but I have.
Yeah.
Cheektowaga Recreation Department has a winter festival where they set up a heated tent.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, it wreaks havoc on your equipment.
Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong in terms of guitars or just
Tuning.
not good. Not good. Yeah.
Besides being a great children's performer, you're also a great businessman. And can you share any insight about balancing the marketing and strategies for that?
Well, I did go to Buffalo State College for business for my teaching degree, so I'd be lying if I said it doesn't help, just to have a concept of organization, sales, and marketing, just basic 101 stuff. Again, the whole thing in this type of work is organization and making sure that the customer does and gets everything that you promised to them. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Well, one of the things that helps me in that regard is a belief that I wonder if you share, and that most people I meet don't really do more than what's asked of them. I'm just talking about contractors or anything in a store. People tend to go to work and they do what they're told, and they don't necessarily really bring a lot of oomph to their day. And because the nature of our work is that you're in that building for one moment, one blink of time, you want to do everything you can to show your appreciation. So what I try to do is in every step from the marketing to the phone, the booking process, I try to convey appreciation and do more than is expected of me. And just by the virtue of following through and having the materials delivered on time, having the show go off exactly as you said, just by the virtue of doing what you said, you tend to put yourself above the norm. So that's one of the secrets I think has helped, just the belief that most people don't do more than is expected of them. If you can be the guy to kind of just say, wow, he really did everything he said, that kind of helps. I mean, years ago, when I first started, my show consisted of a small PA system and a Buffalo Bills sweatshirt as a backdrop. Now it's the big American flag and the lights and the wireless guitars, but just at the time, it was like, whoa, nice sweatshirt, because that's all I had, you know. But over the years, you know, you keep growing. And that's another challenge, too. A blessing and a curse of staying local is that if you're going to be repeated back and back again, you have 15 years, you have to keep finding a way to reinvent yourself. And it's, you know, it's not easy after 15 turns of the clock to, you know, break out the trumpet, you know, what do you do? The kazoo, washboard, you know, so banjo. I used to be really overly concerned about pleasing people, and I've learned that you drive yourself crazy. So the best attitude to have to enhance this, do everything you can to make it easy for them, is just to try to be comfortable in your own skin and do the best you can, and not like do a song and say, did you like that? Do you like me? And people pick up on a relaxed, just a friendly, appreciative, not overly confident, but just someone who's happy to be there and hope to see you again. So that's been one of them.
And you never know how different people appreciate something just because they're not. That's what I found is it used to bother me when if there was one kid somewhere who wouldn't bounce or flat or twist. You know, what's wrong? Why won't he?
Exactly.
But then it turns out later that that kid will come up afterwards with his parent, and the parent will say, "Boy, you had a great time," and I want your CDs, and I'm thinking, "Wow, okay."
What show are you watching?
Yeah, but they're just not. They're just different. Kids are different.
And that's exactly the second point I wanted to make is that your perception of what went down is not always the same as the kid's perception from their point of view.
Absolutely.
You can do a show at a school where you say, "My gosh, everything went great. The kids love me. I'm going to be at this school for the rest of my life." And then you never get called back again.
Yeah.
Exact opposite. You do a show. Like always, you do the best you can, but for whatever reason, the audience didn't respond the way they normally do. You didn't feel the flow went well. Maybe you picked the wrong songs. And sure enough, we'd like to have you back. You do.
You did fantastic.
Yeah. And so I really believe there's no rhyme or reason to that. Yeah. So again, the only consistent thing you can do is just do the best you can at every show. And even though not all my shows have hit the mark, I honestly can say, thousands of shows, I don't ever recall doing a show where I said, I'm just going to dog it. I'm just going to go through the motions. I've always had that little pre-show, fire in your belly would say, okay, here they come, this is it, this is the moment, this is it, this is why you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, drive through the snow for 2 hours,
Now, one more question. Now, at a lot of your shows, at least I think 2 of the 3 shows of yours that I've seen, you've pulled out a picture of yourself. Where did it go? Oh, yes, here, let's see. You pulled out and showed all the kids this old picture of yourself from in high school, and I just have to ask, what were you thinking?
Sure, well,
and why would you show this to kids?
Well, first of all, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. This picture has been a boon for my shows in the sense that I've been able to take it and adapt it for any theme. For example, I'll do a show about music through the decades, and I'll do a 70s segment, and there's the picture. I'll talk about how nice it is to have a job someday doing something that you enjoy. I said, and one of the things that will help you to have a job you enjoy is to find what it is you enjoy. Just do it. When you do something you love to do, you get better at it. For me, when I was younger, I played the guitar. I showed me guitar, and they laughed in the picture.
Right.
So there's a million ways to incorporate that picture. So it's been a great way.
It's a great way to be a little self-deprecating. Kids
for example, you do an American the Beautiful show. I'll always remember when I turned 18 and I voted for the first. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could be a fan for that. There's so many variations on the same gag. That's great.
And really, I shouldn't talk because this is an old picture of me too. So. Well, Glenn, it's been a real pleasure to be here and talk with you.
Thank you.
I always look forward to coming back, and I hope to visit with you next time you're in town.
So. Well, thank you very much for the interview, and I wish you well, my friend.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.